Georgina Halabi. Halabi, that's how you say your name, right?
Halabi, but
Halabi.
Halabi works as well.
Halabi, who is a super badass coach that you will get to know. She has a very unique story, and I invited her on today to share that story with you because I know the more that we share our stories, the more we all realize we're not alone. So, Georgina, thank you so much for being here and sharing your time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I know we've had some glitches beforehand about this technology. It keeps freezing, so we're hoping it doesn't do that, but bear with us if it does. So, Georgina, just tell us a little bit about who you are.
Ooh, where do I start? I am a mindset and well-being coach, and I'm based in Singapore, although I have clients pretty much all over the place, from Mexico to Australia. I help people who want to balance their career success and their self-care needs. Before I became a coach, I had 23 years of experience in sales, in marketing and advertising agencies, and also marketing technology companies, until I found the light finally and became a coach about 2 or 3 years ago. So I live in Singapore. I've got two daughters, 11 and 12, and there's never a dull moment. Yeah. So a little bit about me.
So, when you say you found the light, was there a moment where it was very clear for you, like coaching is the direction I need to go, or I need to do something different than what I'm doing right now? It's not serving me anymore. Do you remember that moment, that shift for you?
Uh, Very, very, very clearly. It happened about 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm sitting in a board meeting, and it was literally like I floated out of my body. I just went, that's it. I've had enough. I'm done. I really felt that I wasn't serving the world with sales. And it was a really quite contentious meeting. And I literally thought, that's it. I'm out of here. And as soon as I did, I had words with myself, because I thought, I can't be in a job, or I can't be in a position that I don't give myself 100% to. Life is too short to be living something that you're not happy with or that you don't want to do. So the next day I called a friend of mine who's also a coach. She's a career adventurist coach. I met up with her for coffee, and I said, okay, I want to hear your story. Tell me about, what made you shift into your different careers. And as the conversation progressed, she told me about coaching. And I was like, really? Oh my God, you could get paid for doing this? It was like she was ticking the boxes on everything that had been leading, that I'd done in my life, had been leading up to this moment. And I had signed up for a coaching course 2 or 3 days later, deposit down, started. I kept on doing my work throughout. I only actually stopped consulting for them during COVID, when I thought, that's it, really, I don't want to be in sales anymore. And I cut out my safety net, my financial safety net, and just threw myself into coaching full time. So yeah, that was the moment, that floating out, I'm done.
I'm done. Now,
Yeah.
having a background in sales and marketing, I'm sure that really helps you in your role as a coach, right? But do you find that there is like this separation now where you see it clearly, like coaching isn't about sales?
I would say they have nothing to do with each other. When I before I coach, I literally try and go into a different zone. So I just try and tap into a higher self, if you like, so that I could step in and I can just be completely there for my clients. So my background doesn't really matter, although there is a level of strategic thinking and creativity that I can bring in. But I would definitely say that the experience in sales and marketing does help with approaching new people, having conversations, marketing myself. I'm less frightened about talking to people, whatever level they are in the organization, whatever level they are in life, because I'm used to seeing people as people. And, it's all about relationships, and it's all about connection. So I think that's been really helpful.
Yeah. And I love what you just said, because it is all about relationships. And that is the number one thing that stops people from growing their coaching business. They're too afraid to have conversations with people. So tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about, the last couple of years you've been growing your business, and people make it seem so easy. Like people that are experiencing what you're experiencing now, we look at you and we're like, man, she makes it look so easy. Were there any times where you felt like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be? This is harder than I thought it was going to be.
Uh, all the time. All the time. I think on so many different levels. So there are times when you go through self-doubt, and that's just the worst, because it gets in the way of you showing up properly, and it reflects in your coaching, and you need to go and think about it and level yourself out. In terms of conversations with other people, you also have to kind of overcome your own obstacles or your own barriers. Why would somebody want to hear from me? I don't want to be salesy. I had this whole mental block because I've got an experience in sales of bringing anything salesy into my coaching. And one of the really cool things about the HPC program is they just blow that out of the water. Once again, it's all about the removal of self. You're there to serve. And I love this because I actually studied the teachings of Buddhism for 4 years, and it's all about the dissolution of self. Self doesn't really exist. So the minute that you're able to take yourself out of the equation and show up and serve, the better it is. So there's been a constant stream of introspection and opportunities to understand what my blocks are. And this mastery course and the launch course that I did with HPC has been brilliant because it has kicked my butt all the way through on every single one of my blocks. And it's like peeling an onion. I'm only on the outer layer. I will have a lifetime of peeling to get into all of the inner layers, because there's just so much you keep on discovering, keep on exploring, so
Personal development on steroids.
Totally.
Yeah. What was the most profound breakthrough that you had as you were growing your coaching business? Like, what was the one that was just like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was playing in the background? Did you have one of those moments?
I've had a few, and I'm just trying to think. There's one that probably wasn't the biggest, but it was probably the most relevant. So about a month ago, we got set a challenge. I want you to go out and win 2 clients, right? 2 high-paying clients, off you go. And I noticed a pattern of how I start thinking about things. I go into overwhelm, right? So I'll start thinking, I need to do this, and I'll stack them, on top of each other. And I'll ruminate. And literally just the story that I'm telling myself about all the work that I'm doing is exhausting before I've even started it. And that was so interesting because I work with a lot of people on overwhelm. Part of my product, if you like, or my offering is about emotional equilibrium. And it's about being able to find that balance. And by noticing myself going into overwhelms and the patterns that I was doing, it's like, I've got you now. Overwhelm is happening. I need to apply what it is that I'm showing the people that I coach with, and I also run mindfulness classes with, that I can do it myself. So I almost see myself as trailblazing trailblazing the process almost constantly, with everything, so that I can then go back and offer it and go, yeah, okay, there's a connection here. I know where you're coming from. Been there, done that, still doing that, because we're still all a work in progress all the time. But I've got you that little pattern. I know what what's happening there. And once you're conscious of it, you're able to sort of disassociate yourself from that. This is how I am. This is how I think, and just notice, actually, am I really that stressed? Do I have that much on my plate? I can break it down. And then from there, you can sort of start to breathe again and just process. Yeah. So that was a really good breakthrough for me.
Yeah, so much gold in that, right? Like, oh, geez, this is what I discovered. Now I get to give it away. And it's not that we don't experience overwhelm. It's just that it's outside of us now. We see it like, oh, I see you. I see you right there. And then there's no longer like being at the effect of it. Powerful. That's so powerful to get that.
And what's so lovely is this whole connection with the people that you coach with, because what shows up for them is normally a reflection of what's happening inside, right? This is stuff that we've worked through with HPC. But if I use that as content for my own development, I'm always seeing stuff. There's always a connection between what they're experiencing, what I'm experiencing. And if it's not direct, it's always something that I can take meaning from or learning from. It's I wanted something a bit purposeful with my life and a bit meaningful. Oh my God, coaching is that, as you say, on steroids. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, okay, there are people watching right now that are maybe where you were a few years ago, where they're having those out of body experiences, but they're too afraid to take action. They're just sitting there like, there's got to be more to my life. There's got to be more. Like, they really want to coach, but they're paralyzed by their fear. What is your kind of insight or aha that you can help them to just see like, I get it. I know where you're at. And like, just look here. Can you give them a golden nugget that that might help them to just see something newly that might motivate them to take action?
No pressure there, Tina. We just have
I
a quick
know,
chat.
right? You're so
Um,
brilliant. I'm like, oh,
there's normally always something behind fear, right? Fear is a form of self-protection.
mm,
So what is it that you're trying to protect yourself from, and why is that? So lean in and start to investigate where you are when that fear happens. What thoughts are happening that you associate with that fear, and what's the narrative that you're telling yourself with that fear? And then start to look at that and question it. Is that
mm,
true? Is that false? Flip it.
mm.
And then my best advice is just go do it anyway, because what's the worst that can happen? Life gets a bit more exciting. You get a little bit more fulfilled. You
Yeah.
you throw away your safety net and just go out there and just trust in the universe and think
Mm,
how many times you've done that and you've landed on your feet. You know,
yeah.
I'm hoping that people will connect with that. And there are people who aren't watching and going, yeah, I removed the safety net and I just went splat. But I bet you for every single time that's happened, there's been like a million other times where they've just landed on their own feet and gone, oh my God, I
Mhm.
can't believe that. And you just don't know till you try.
Yeah.
So yeah, have a look at what you fear, what's behind your fear. Notice as and when it's arising. Look at what's stopping you, and then just take the leap. Just
Yeah. And if you
I
fall
like to think
flat,
that
get
yeah,
help.
yeah,
Hire Georgina, hire a coach. Like really, whenever we fall flat, I totally get it. I fell flat. I was like, and there's always somebody that can help us
yeah,
move past that.
yeah. And I think we're always there to catch ourselves as well, to a certain extent, and to right ourselves, and that takes the right attitude too. So
Mm,
yeah, but
yeah.
get help. Help is
Trust,
always there.
trust yourself, trust the universe, ask for help, know you're supported.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And the first place that I would go to for trusting yourself is probably just, I mean, I'm a big believer in meditator, is just go inwards and just listen.
Mm,
The profound wisdom doesn't come from that ruminating chatter that's coming from your mind, right? I'm frightened, this is happening, you're this, you're that. That sounds like a voice that goes on and on. That quiet space within that's just peaceful and only needs to whisper, consult with that. They'll put you straight pretty
mm,
quickly. That's where your answer is.
man, that's amazing. So tell me, since being a coach and really showing up powerfully in the world, what are some of the things that you've been able to accomplish in the last couple years that you're proud of that you want to share with us?
I'm very, very proud of my clients. I'm so proud of my clients and what they've accomplished. They have, I work with people sometimes who are on the emotional disconnect, emotional overwhelm, spectrum. And seeing one of my clients who came to me unable to even express his feelings, I feel this, I don't quite know the words, who is now writing a book and he's finding his own creativity and his own vocabulary. It's amazing when he says I feel something and he expresses it now. It's so natural, and to me he doesn't even notice when he does it, but I really notice. And the amazing other thing that he's done is he left his job. He actually was on furlough when I started working with him. I started working when things were really, really tough, and he ended up being made redundant, having to leave Singapore, moving back to Europe. And he is so balanced, so happy. He's got opportunities flooding towards him. And
Mm,
he's in this space of just calm contentment.
mm,
He's like, I've got this. And it's just starting to flow. And everything's starting to change in his life. The more that he opens himself up, just the more is starting to flow. So instances like that, when you see your clients and the huge transformations that they make, even in just like the space of 3 months, he hit all of his goals out of the park.
mm.
And now I just coach with him every other week. I'm like his board of directors. He calls me his
Yeah,
board
yeah,
of directors.
yeah.
And just seeing him is just that makes me really, really happy. So clients have got to be my first level of satisfaction. Um, Other things that I've been doing, I think I've been noticing if something scares me senseless, and just going, right, I'm doing that. So today being a case in point, I've never been interviewed for anything before, let alone done Facebook Lives. And tomorrow I'm a guest speaker on an event for women in software as a service in America. So I'm guest speaker, and I'm going to be doing workshops off the back of that. All new stuff, all new territory to me, but really, really exciting. So yeah, it's never a dull moment.
Now, 2 years ago, when you were having the out-of-body experience, did you ever imagine that this would be possible? Like you'd be sitting here today doing interviews, being part of like women's conferences, serving so many people powerfully. Did you ever think that it would happen so quickly and this is where you would be in flow and momentum?
So no, not quite as quickly, but I was kind of working on getting there eventually. There's certain things that I've written down whenever I open my cupboard door in the morning. I've got like my values and beliefs. And part of it is, I really believe that everything that I've done has worked up to this. Nothing is wasted, all of my experience. So, I keep on saying success is inevitable. If I'm out there and I'm trying to serve and I'm trying to use everything that I've learned from both business and from, the more spiritual parts of my journey, then, and if I rate success based on how I'm able to help people, then, then success is inevitable. And if that means turning up for interviews and sales talks, then I'm game. Although, I think it probably would have scared me a lot more 2 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I certainly want to acknowledge you for just taking it all on with velocity. And, one thing that I'm really, excited about when you took on our program, you knew you were in Singapore and that the times just didn't match up. And yet you took on the program and took everything out of the program and had breakthroughs without even being on the calls most of the time, but just creating your own value and using it as fuel. Like that's incredible. That's an
I didn't
incredible.
actually attend one live workshop or one live event during the whole of HPC, but it's pure gold. You can watch the videos, and with the videos you can stop and really think things through. And there's so much that you can take from those courses. There's so much good content on launch. So I would say it doesn't really matter if you can't attend it live. I think live is a bonus, but even now I'm on a WhatsApp group with all of the Launch One group. We're all there connecting with each other. I've reached out and I've connected with a lot of them individually. I feel part of the clan, and it's been really lovely because I've had so many vicarious breakthroughs. And I've watched them on my screen for however many, 3-4 months. So I felt like I knew them a whole lot more than they knew me after HPC when we all, connected again.
Yeah.
That was strange.
Yeah, it speaks volumes to who you are as a coach and who you are in the world, taking it on, getting value in life by your participation. And, it's remarkable to watch. It's remarkable to be a part of. And I just really want to thank you for being here today and sharing your time and your insights and your story with us. It's really remarkable.
Thank you so much, Tina. This has actually been a lot of fun. And it's been so nice connecting finally with you face to face.
I know.
For the first time, right?
Yeah, this is the first time live and in person, So, and I really want to thank all of you that are watching and who continuously watch. It's really, we don't take that for granted. We appreciate you being here, watching, supporting. Without you, there is no us. So it's something we'll never take for granted. So thank you so much. Thank you again, Georgina. And, do you want to leave us with one final little nugget or anything you want to say to close this conversation to make it complete? Oh, and we're frozen.
I might be a bit unstable on my Wi-Fi. Is just have confidence in yourself. You don't know until you've tried. And when you try, you can always learn. You can always grow. And that's always a good thing. So any budding coaches out there, I would strongly encourage you. It's a path to helping people, but it's also a path to self-growth. And it's never ending. And it's so exciting. So jump in with both feet. I highly recommend it.
Beautiful. Enough said. Thank you again, Georgina. Thank you, everybody. And I'll see you back next time. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Georgina.